Welcome back. You know, there are so many things our politicians debate that are frankly superfluous. They might not affect us directly. We don't take a real interest. We're indifferent. But on this next story, I am most definitely interested. The European Commission plans to force manufacturers to use a universal charger. That's right, one charger for all phones, a charger you can borrow in the office that actually fits your phone. They want us all to use the USB-C charger for phones and small electronic devices. They say it will cut waste. Well, of course it will cost waste. I've personally lost hundreds of them. In fact, the Commission's research estimates that disposed of and unused charging cables generate more than 11,000 tonnes of waste every year. It's a massive market. There are some 420 million mobile phones and other electronic devices that were sold in the EU in the past year. Apple, whose iPhone does not use USB-C chargers, are not happy. They say it will harm innovation. No, it won't, says the Internal Market Commissioner Thierry Breton.
No, it's not at all against innovation. By the way, it's not against anyone. It is just like everything we do, and like everything I do as a commissioner and everything we do in Commission, it's for the consumers.
Joining me is Birgitte Andersen, CEO of Big Innovation Centre, a London-based think tank and innovation hub, and Professor of the Economics and Management of Innovation at Birkbeck here in London. So you are the right person to talk to for this. Why do you think Apple says it would stifle innovation?
Well, I think they have been focusing maybe on the revenue from mobile phone chargers, and that's channeled into innovation of better mobile phone networks. But I'm more interested in actually and I think it is about innovation and competition argument. So maybe Apple clearly might be adversely affected by it, but maybe at the EU level, it will not have any implications for innovation. In fact, the European Union wants to increase innovation and entrepreneurship by allowing a common standard that all EU entrepreneurs can produce against.
Yeah, I mean, it is madness, isn't it, when you think that one end of the charger is universal, which we all plug into a plug or the computer, and the other end isn't. The amount of waste that creates tells you that actually, on a whole range of issues across electronics, industry is going to have to lead, isn't it, if we're going to meet some of these climate change targets?
Well, I think that the innovation and competition argument for the reason for it is really the profound one. The whole argument against waste of electronic devices is a huge sustainability problem. We know that there are mountains of microelectronic waste, computers, motherboards, cell phones, servers, screens, printers, scanners, keyboards, Fitbits, watches, etc. And there are the chargers. So the chargers are just a little drop in the ocean of this huge problem of waste in microelectronics. So I think that the waste argument is used to mobilize, of course, these big social movements of a more green economy. But I don't think that's really achieved by looking at the phone charger. However, the regulation on one-size-fits-all charger might be achieved.
You know what, though? I mean, come on, we all know this. This is a massive profit arm for iPhone, for Apple, isn't it? I looked on the computer today. If you buy a lightning cable for your iPhone, it's going to cost you £19. If you go on there and buy a USB-C cable, which everybody stocks, £6. So it's going to be a lot cheaper for us. An awful lot cheaper.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that it is a big profit arm for Apple, and I also, of course, think that it might be cheaper for people, of course, to buy a non-Apple chargers. However, I think that so for the consumer, in some ways, it's a good thing. I want to say here, this is really about the classic argument or the classic competition of how standards are set in the United States and in Europe. There's a class of culture here. I don't think that people on an everyday basis are complaining about the price of charters, although they should do so, but they're complaining about sustainability. And the issue with government rules is that in the European Union, we have what we call stately regulated standards, where in the free market USA, where they use the free market mechanism to set standards. So big companies, and in the USA, standards are basically set through competition, where one standard is selected to, like a winners take all network economy argument, where in the European Union, where we have 27 different countries that have been having to agree on standards over the last 20, 30 years, the standards are usually set in committees and by a state government regulation. It's the same in China, though, and many other countries.
Yeah. Well, I'm all in favour of it. I think it's a vote winner. Birgitte Andersen, thank you very much indeed.